Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala, pastor of St. Malachy Catholic Church in Sterling Heights, Archdiocese of Detroit. Welcome to Saint of the Day. Today is the feast day of St. George. And if you've ever seen an icon or a picture of St. George, he's mounted on his steed, and he's got a spear or a lance, and it's pointed down to the ground, which looks like kind of either a dragon or a snake, large snake, or combination of the two, and he's slaying it. St. George who slayed the dragon. Well, he actually did slay something. Let me tell you the story. He was a centurion, an officer in the Roman army in the late 200s, and he accepted Christianity. And he was assigned to what's now modern-day Libya, Western Egypt and Eastern Libya. It was a little wetter back then, 2,000 years ago. There were more crops than there are there today. But this one particular town had a problem. There were larger lakes in previous centuries, which had been gradually shrinking over time as the climate got drier. And this one particular lake, there was a giant Nile crocodile, a huge giant Nile crocodile. And everyone was afraid of this crocodile. And because the pond had gotten so small, there wasn't enough fish in the pond to feed the crocodile. So the crocodile would sometimes come out of the water and grab a goat or grab a sheep or even grab a small cow or a person and, drag it back to the water, drown it, and eat it. Well, this terrified the people. They didn't have the weaponry to take on something that large and that fierce. Who comes into town one day is George. And they asked this noble knight if he would do something about it. Well, even on his horse with a spear, this was going to be a big challenge for George. But George was a man of faith and was convinced that if he was true and he aimed right and he charged, he'd slice that crocodile in two. And so he did. And the people were overjoyed. And George took advantage of this by telling them about the devil, and saying that just as George had slayed the devil, that if you accept Jesus, he will give you the strength to beat the devil as well and open for you the gates of salvation. So everyone in the village accepted Christianity and was baptized. And that's where the story of George killing the dragon comes from. He was well known in the East. He was practically unknown in the West until the Crusades. During the Crusade time, when the knights from England and from France and Germany came to the Middle East, they learned about the saints, and the knights just thought he was one of their own. And as a result, he became the patron saint of Venice, Portugal, Genoa, and England.